All right, so right now we're wrapping the quarter panel on this M4. We've pre-cut out this whole piece. Right now, we're just trying to get the first stretch going, so we're slowly just kind of working the film. So when I do the quarter panels, I like to focus the back side first, just because there's a lot of stretch that needs to go on over here, and you don't want a lot of tension. So I just want to kind of glass this out as best as I can without squeegeeing. Tommy already got most of this pretty good. I'm just going to adjust a little bit. This is pretty good. I'm just going to stretch it a little more this way. So I'm lifting it off the car now, and I'm pulling towards me, and my arm's going outwards. And Tommy's doing the same thing. So that way, when you lay down like this, that's the kind of stretch that you're going to need. Kind of like a square, and you're pulling out on all corners. And you really don't want to be pulling from the actual corner. So if you're picturing this as a square, you don't want to take the corner and pull it out that way. You want to grab these sides, stretch outwards, and pull towards you. So if you go like that, it should be good. So that's just, as long as you pull it like that, you won't get any crazy wrinkles. We put tape on the window trim just to make sure that the vinyl doesn't stick too much there.
You want to turn around a little bit more, so it's not
let me see if this goes. I think it's going. So here I'm just using my hand to squeegee in this. There's a little bit of like a crevice in the way the panel is. I like to use my hand because sometimes the squeegee leaves behind air and your hand conforms to the panel better. And here you can see there's a little bit of wrinkling here. So all I have to do is just give it a little bit of tension, and I'm going this way. And it goes right away. All wrinkles are is just slack. It's a little bit of an imperfection in the paint. It's just slack. So same thing here. If you have a wrinkle like this and you try to squeegee it, it's gonna wrinkle up like that. So to fix it, you just lift it up a little bit, and you can even use the heat gun. Get rid of that little wrinkle. Give it a little bit of tension. Squeegee it out. All right, so while Tommy works on that top side, I'm gonna get this back taillight area down. This is probably the trickiest part of the whole quarter panel. So right now I'm just making sure over here is good. And I can see, you can see where the taillight's gonna be. And I'm using my thumb because this is a very aggressive body line to make sure I get everything. Got a little wrinkle here, so I'm gonna put a little relief cut so I can reach my hand in here, just work that out. All right, so I'm gonna focus right here. First, I'm actually gonna cut some of this material away, just because it's a lot of extra. So now I can open the trunk. Make sure that's good. So now that I have this relief cut here, I have this thin kind of piece I could pick up, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of heat just to make sure that it stretches nicely. And when you're heating the film, you want to make sure you keep moving the heat gun, or else you could burn and texturize the film. So now I'm pulling outwards towards me. I'm grabbing these two corners and I'm stretching outwards as well. So this way and towards me. And I'm gonna slowly just wrap it around this little corner. like that, and I'll go over it with a squeegee. Just make sure there's no air left behind. Alright, so this looks pretty good. I'll leave this extra film here for later when I trim it. You can see this whole piece is covered. So now I'm going to work towards the wheel well. And when you squeegee, you want to make sure, I like to think, double 45-degree angles. So the squeegee is going to be 45 degrees of an angle like that, 45 degrees away from the panel, and you turn it 45 degrees to make sure that you're aiming all the air towards the bottom, because you don't want to trap any air towards the middle. So if I had it like this, the air is going up towards the part that I already squeegeed, and that's going to leave you with a bubble that you will most likely have to lift the film up to get rid of. And you always want to work towards edges when you're squeegeeing. Alright, so now I can cut out some of this wheel well to make it easier. Let's use a little heat. We might have to lift this up because I don't know how tacked down that is.
There might be too much air.
Yeah. So again, I'm making sure to use my thumb for this body line. That's just what I personally like to do, because sometimes if you use the squeegee, like I said, it leaves some air behind. I think we might be good. Okay. Yeah, so you can see here, this is some trapped air. I could work it out, but it's not guaranteed that the air is gonna really escape the film. It might just pool up somewhere else. So we're gonna lift this up to where it needs to. I'm gonna heat this, and then we'll lay it back down.
Thank you.
I think we got a delivery. Okay. Go. That's good enough for now.
Might be.
It's not too much. Okay, you can see there's a little bit of wrinkling over here from when we stretched it before, so to get rid of that, you can just relift it. A little bit of heat. And you can see the wrinkles go right away when you put the heat on it. And then we'll stretch it again. There you go. Most of the wrinkles are gone now.
What vinyl?
This is Avery, and the color is, it's just satin white, right? Okay, you can let this. So, just trimming out a little bit of the extra, just to relieve some of the tension, and it'll make it easier to lay. This gives you more access. Okay, you heat that a little bit. We're going to work this right up to the trim. So this is another technique you can use. It's kind of like you have one end of a scissor. And that's good to work final two edges. And over here it gets a little tricky when you have to work this into or underneath window trim. So I might actually cut off a little more film. Basically you want to tuck the film as much as you can underneath the window trim. And once it's tucked, you can take the knife and run it behind the back of the window trim. And that will make sure you cover all the paint. So right now I'm just taking a little more film and cutting it. So I'm going to lift this off of the window trim, take the squeegee and tuck it. You want to make sure there's really no tension here. So I'm lifting the film up and just leaving it readily available for the squeegee to kind of take, so it can tuck it behind the window trim. All right, so you got to do this around the whole trim. And you really want to make sure it's tucked good, or else you may end up having some paint showing at the end. So sometimes you can use other squeegees. So this is more of a thinner, harder squeegee than the other one I was using. And this is good for just tucking vinyl in scenarios like this. All right, so I should be able to trim this now. My knife. Okay. There we go. I think it's okay. So I made the trim and now I'm just tucking it. You can see this white film gets so dirty. But I'm just tucking the part that I trimmed right now. And you can see there's no exposed paint over there. It's perfectly tucked behind the window trim. So me and Tom are going to finish laying the rest of this. Everything else is pretty straightforward. That was pretty much all the hard parts of the quarter panel. And when we're done, we'll show you the finished product.